The road to WrestleMania 39 continues through Monday Night Raw, and we are back. We are here on Fog Wrestling to review Raw for the 27th of February 2023. We are on the road to WrestleMania, but by God, it must be the worst road of all time. Honestly, it's like there's no lights on this road. The tarmac on this road is made of shit. There is nothing enjoyable about this road. This must be the worst WrestleMania build-up of all time. Now, I know there's been a lot of disappointing WrestleManias in the last, 5 years or whatever, but I cannot remember heading to a WrestleMania where everything just felt, lackluster, non-important. Literally nothing has happened, and the matches that we do have, the feuds that we do have going into this WrestleMania, they all suck. You've got Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Could be good, but they're yet to even confront each other, so they haven't even seen each other yet. Asuka and Bianca Belair, you've got Bianca Belair who is just total cringe, and you've Asuka who can't even speak English. Nothing's happened there. You've got Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Don't like either of them. Charlotte Flair has to be the worst face of all time. She can only play heel, but she's playing face for this feud. We've seen it as well. We've seen this match multiple times, and we're getting to see it again. It's already happened at WrestleMania. This just shouldn't be happening, and even worse, it's going to be the main event. You've got Seth Rollins and Logan Paul potentially going to be a WrestleMania match. Logan Paul's never there. Who cares? You have Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Possibly one of the worst WrestleMania matches I can remember seeing. Just nobody wants to see that. If Vince McMahon made that match, everyone would be losing their shit. But because Triple H does it, everybody's pure love in life and claiming that Brock versus Omos is going to be great. It's not. It's going to suck. We've got Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt. Again, just who has any interest in Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt? Why is Bray Wyatt wanting to take on Bobby Lashley? It just makes no sense. The card is incredibly weak. None of the feuds are interesting. And yeah, I mean, it must be the most disappointing WrestleMania build-up of all time. But let's not talk about WrestleMania for a minute. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We kick off the show with Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. They come out as a two-man band and they claim the bloodline is stronger than ever. Well, judging by the fact that there's only two of them here tonight, I'm going to have to disagree. The Street Profits come out, they try to be funny, but they fail. They're looking for Jay, so, oh Jay, you in the back, oh Jay, you in the stands, no Jay, you're not here. Really lame. Then we get a match, Street Profits versus Jimmy and Sikoa. Sikoa and Jimmy win, and then Kevin Owens comes out after the match, hits a stunner on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, and Kevin Owens lock eyes and they look at each other. So who knows? I still think we'll get the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, but I mean, maybe we could get Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens. I'm not too sure. Then we get the Judgment Day. They serve notice to their bitter rivals. Rhea Ripley said she's coming to SmackDown to take on Liv Morgan. Finn Balor challenges Edge at WrestleMania, and then Dominic Mysterio says he'll see his deadbeat dad on Saturday. So again, nothing interesting here. I mean, Edge versus Balor, this feud's been going on a long time. Apparently it's going to be inside a Hell in a Cell. I guess that's something, but again, it just doesn't feel Mania. It doesn't feel like a Mania level when we've been getting this match so many, they've been feuding for so long. It's surely if you're going to have Edge versus Balor at WrestleMania, then you shouldn't have had it at previous events this year. WrestleMania is supposed to be once in a lifetime. It's supposed to feel special. How can it be special when people have faced each other so many times? I mean, there's a reason, I think, why Cena and Orton never faced each other at WrestleMania, because I remember those two always used to face each other and people would complain, oh, we're getting Cena Orton again, we always get Cena versus Orton. Well, we never got Cena versus Orton at WrestleMania, and I think the reason for that is because they knew that match was overdone. At WrestleMania, you have to go big, you have to do something special, and let's just face it, Cena and Orton happened so many times that it wasn't special. It just would not have been special at WrestleMania. But, I mean, I'm looking at this and it's like, well, we've seen Edge versus Finn Balor. They've been feuding for, like, the best part of the year. So why are we getting it at WrestleMania? And you can argue, well, it's a long feud or whatever. But no, like, we've seen this match. We don't really need to see it again. We just seen Edge and Finn Balor compete at Elimination Chamber. Albeit, yeah, it wasn't one-on-one, but we still seen them interacting in the ring. I've no real interest in it, man, but whatever. We're getting Edge versus Finn Balor. Could be Demon Balor. Who knows? Then we get Brock Lesnar. He comes out and he accepts the challenge. He almost. MVP tries to sell the fight. MVP, I don't care how good you are at talking. You're not selling this fight. This fight's absolutely garbage. Nobody wants to see it. Almost is terrible. We've already seen Bobby Lashley beat him at last year's WrestleMania. We do not need to see Brock Lesnar beat him at this year's WrestleMania. And that is what will happen. Brock Lesnar tells MVP, you're not going to make me drink alone, are you? Brock's drinking out his flask. MVP takes a sip. Doesn't like it. Spits it all out on Brock Lesnar's face. So, yeah, Brock Lesnar isn't going to take this pretty well. MVP tries, like, you know, wiping it off his face with his, like, wee handkerchief. And I thought that was a little bit funny. And then Brock kind of just gets the handkerchief, puts it back in MVP's pocket, lifts him up, and hits him with an F5. So, I didn't think the segment was great, but MVP just getting his handkerchief and trying to, like, wipe down Brock, that I did find that a little bit funny. But overall, I thought the segment was pretty poor. Is this really the best they've got for Brock Lesnar? The MVP lounge, it was just a bit boring. But yeah, that's what we get. We're getting Brock versus Almost at WrestleMania. So who is looking forward to that? I certainly am not. Then we got a Bianca Belair Montez Ford cinematic Titanic thing. Wasn't funny at all. Bianca Belair's like, oh, look, I'm flying. Montez Ford goes to take a photo and he drops the phone into the ocean. It wasn't funny. You know, it just wasn't. I know they're trying to do these WrestleMania things. They're trying to do WrestleMania Goes Hollywood like they did back in the day. But back in the day, these cinematic things were great. That's because they were done by great people. They were done by fucking legends. Now, you've got these bums, these jobbers, these people who are not larger than life, these people who are not stars, acting like stars, and it's very phony. It's just not entertaining. It's not good. Speaking of not good, Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Look, the match itself wasn't that bad, but Jesus Christ. Cody Rhodes with the crossroads at the end. I thought he killed Chad Gable. Chad Gable with a very nasty landing, man. He just got planted on the top of his head, and it could have, I don't know, it could have given him a serious injury. The referee was down straight away, in fairness, asking Chad if he was alright, and I haven't heard any news, so I'm going to assume Chad Gable is okay. Hopefully he's okay, but it was a nasty landing, man. And even the Cody cutter off the top rope, it didn't really connect properly. I mean, I like Cody Rhodes, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's Chad Gable deciding to sell it this way. Maybe Chad Gable's trying to make him look good heading into WrestleMania, but it just looked dangerous in my opinion. Very dangerous, but Cody gets the win. And, like, are we really supposed to be invested in this Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable? You've got Cody Rhodes, who's won every match since returning to WWE, including the Royal Rumble. He's going to go on into the WrestleMania main event, and he's taking on a guy that has probably lost, like, 99% of his matches in the last couple of years. So who's going to win? Of course it's Cody Rhodes. Then after the match, Cody Rhodes says that he's coming to SmackDown and he'll see Roman Reigns there. So the big feud, the main event, heading into Mania. It's Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and up until now, we've had zero interaction, man. I mean, it just sucks. Like, you look at the way everyone's feuding, and it's like the feuds haven't even started yet. It's like they're literally waiting until, like, the final week before they do anything. I mean, they need to hurry up. Like, back in the day, you would have interactions, you would have multi-man matches. Like, I mean, with the way things are going at the moment, back in the day, like 15 years ago, the way things are being booked currently, you would have had, this would have been the sort of match you would have got, like, heading in towards WrestleMania, say on, like, the last Raw or something. You would have got Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso taking on Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. They would have gave you, like, a fun, like, multi-man match with, like, with the people who are set to, like, face each other at WrestleMania or whatever. But now it's like, you just don't get any of that, man. You get nothing interesting. Just boring fucking matches that nobody wants to see. Honestly, it's not. I mean, you've got let's say the two women's matches, for example. It's like, why don't they, on the last Raw, why don't they have, like, the two champions versus the two challengers? Remember they did that back in, or it wasn't quite that, but it was back in No Way Out 2006. It was, I think it was Batista and Taker taking on Cena and HBK. It was the two people that were supposed to face each other at WrestleMania from the two brands. They were teaming up, and that felt like a big match. And I believe that was the main event, and that was a big match. And I think it ended with Batista turning on The Undertaker. I can't remember correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's how it finished. But that was a big, big match. Why can't we get something like that in current wrestling? No, we don't. We just get throwaway fucking matches. Up next, Asuka versus Carmella. Honestly, we know who's going to win this. Obviously, it's going to be Asuka. Asuka does win. Bianca Belair comes out after. She says, I hope Asuka wasn't saying bad stuff about me in Japanese, and I hope you were saying that you're going to put on a great match with the EST at WrestleMania, because you can't spell WrestleMania without the EST. Carmella then hits Asuka into Bianca Belair, and honestly, man, Bianca Belair fucking sucks. I'm not even a big fan of Asuka, but I hope she wins so badly at WrestleMania. I cannot stand Bianca Belair coming out week after week, twirling her hair. Like, what is the gimmick? It's just fucking cringe. She doesn't even have a gimmick. She just comes out, she spews EST, she'll repeat EST about 20 times while spinning her hair constantly. That's it. That is it. That is Bianca Belair in a nutshell. And it's garbage, man. It's no very good. We then get Miz TV. Miz TV's got a special announcement. He's going to announce the host of WrestleMania and his guest tonight on Miz TV, and it turns out it's himself. Really, really shit here. So the host of WrestleMania is going to be The Miz. Boring. Who cares? Wow, The Miz is hosting WrestleMania. And let's be honest, the host doesn't matter. The host is never... like, whenever they've done a host, I've never been excited about a host. But Jesus Christ, at least we thought we maybe get... you could get Hogan, Austin, Rock, I mean, I don't know, Mick fucking Foley, anybody. Give us Shawn Michaels, Taker, fuck, even... boring Bret Hart, man. You give me anybody, but no. We get The Miz, honestly. We get the fucking Miz. Seriously. What? Imagine if it was Mr. McMahon. Vince McMahon hosting wrestling. I mean, come on. Could have got something good, but no. We get The Miz. Seth Rollins comes out, super kicks The Miz, gets The Miz's phone. He phones Logan Paul, challenges Logan Paul to face him next week, makes a joke about Jake Paul losing a boxing match. Let's be honest, if Jake Paul and Seth Rollins faced each other in a real fight, Jake Paul would kill him, and that is a fact. I mean, not even from a physicality standpoint, but even from a mindset standpoint, look, Jake Paul's actually taking these legit fights. He's actually, going into, like, the combat sport, and he's facing, like, legitimate guys, whereas Seth freaking Rollins says he was terrified when a fan jumped the barricade. So, come on, who's going to win a real fight here? But Seth Rollins, anyway, challenges Logan Paul. We're going to get that match at WrestleMania. Am I excited for it? Not really. Speaking of what I'm not excited for, we get Candice LeRae taking on Piper Niven. The crowd were fucking dead, and no wonder. This match absolutely sucked. Nikki Cross came out inadvertently, I think, cost Piper Niven the win. Candice LeRae rolls up Piper Niven, and how unrealistic is this? You know, £100 Candice LeRae rolling up fucking £760 Piper Niven. It didn't look right. You know, rolled her up like a bloody pancake, and she trust me, she's not a pancake. Just look at her. She's the opposite of a pancake. What's the opposite of like a flat pancake? I don't know, but Piper Niven, that's what it is. Garbage, absolutely garbage. Austin Theory says he's got something special planned for John Cena next week. Austin Theory says he's all about hustle, loyalty, and respect. Austin Theory versus Cena should main event night 1. Or the tag team title should main event night 1. Anything. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins would be more worthy of main event night 1 than what is main event night 1, man. Absolute garbage. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing Austin Theory and John Cena. Hopefully we get some good segments, because I do feel like Cena and Theory could do some good stuff together. We get Carmella backstage arguing with Adam Pearce. Chelsea Green comes in. Pearce takes a phone call. Pearce says to Chelsea Carmella, she's taking on Asuka or Bianca Belair next week. Carmella's happy with this. Pearce walks off. Carmella says that was rude, just walked right in front of me. And then Chelsea Green starts kissing Carmella's ass and goes, yeah, that was rude. He's very rude. This place is much better now that he's gone. I mean, you know what? I've kind of enjoyed the Chelsea Green character. Let's be real. If we're being completely honest here, that Chelsea Green has been the best female that Triple H has brought back. 110%. You take Chelsea Green and you compare what she's done in like the last month, and you compare it to like a Candice LeRae or a Michin or that other rainbow-haired freak Tegan Knox, and I'm sure there's more that I just can't remember, but I mean, yeah, Chelsea Green has probably been the best Triple H return, at least female, so far. So I mean, I think the segment's her being a Karen type character. At least they're doing something, you know. At least she's got a character. At least it's not just wrestle. I mean, who gives a shit if the women want to wrestle? They're shite anyway. So you either got to have them be hot, you know, or they've got to have a character. Because if they're just relying on wrestling ability, then they are going to struggle because they are not very good. Speaking of not very good, we move on to Elias versus Bobby Lashley. Never liked Elias. Bobby Lashley gets the win, rightfully so. So yeah, Bobby Lashley defeats him. Then Bray Wyatt comes on, the Titantron. Bobby Lashley says he wants Bray Wyatt to keep his name out his mouth. Bray Wyatt, with the Firefly Funhouse gimmick, he does a muscle man dance, and it's basically just Bray Wyatt dancing next to a picture of Bobby Lashley. It was lame. It wasn't good. Bobby Lashley's looking on, spitting out the dummy, looking furious, not looking happy. And yeah, I guess this confirms we're getting Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. But again, another match that just, the build-up's been terrible. I don't think the match will be any good. I just don't think they have the chemistry. I don't think it'll be any good at all. I don't think the feud, I don't think the segments, the promos, I don't think they'll be good, and I don't think the match will be good. So, I mean, just an absolute waste here. Yeah, no, I think they should have went with Brock Lashley at WrestleMania. Could have done it in a cage or something. You know, maybe could have done like a legit fight. Or maybe even maybe not a legit fight, but you could have done like a gimmick legit fight, kind of like they did with Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez. You know, you could have had it be a worked fight. I think that could have worked, pun intended. But no, we're getting Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley, which ain't going to be good. Then we got Johnny Gargano beating Otis. Otis was trying to impress Maxine Dupree. She calls him Otis, but you know, he's just fat, really. At the end of the day, this was garbage. Dexter Lumis came out, and Dexter Lumis tried to kidnap Mansoor or Massey. I don't care. I mean, it was boring. Then we move on to the main event. Finally, we're at the end of the show, guys. Becky Lynch and Lita defeat the team of Io Sky and Dakota Kai. I kind of got my prediction right that Trish Stratus would come up to even out the odds, but I thought that the tag team champs would retain. Turns out they didn't. Lita hits the twist of fate after Io Sky misses the moonsault. Corey Graves says that Io Sky is trying to add insult to injury by beating Lita with her own move. That's not what I seen. At the end of the day, the moonsault is Io Sky's move anyway. It's not like she was just doing a moonsault to, like, you know, rub it in the face of Lita. That's her own move as well. So, I mean, it's not like if Kane does a choke slam to Undertaker, he's trying to rub it in his face. No, choke slam's Kane's fucking move. You know, just because Taker does it doesn't mean if Kane does it, he's only doing it because Taker does it. No, Kane also does it. You know, so whatever. You got Lita then hits the moonsault, Becky does the disarmer on Dakota Kai on the apron, and Trish took out Bayley with a chick kick. Look, apparently Trish has had surgery done, and I would agree. I mean, I think she does look... I think she does look a little bit old, but honestly, man, I still think Trish and Lita look better than the likes of fucking Natalya and Charlotte Flair. I don't think Lita's had any surgery done. People have said Trish has, and if she has, then, you know what, it actually, I don't think looks that bad. At least Trish and Lita still kind of resemble themselves, you know, they've just gotten older. But Jesus Christ, man, well, what is it with, like, Natalya and Charlotte Flair and all these fucking, like, surgeries that make them look nothing like themselves? I mean, at least Lita and Trish have kind of just, like, aged gracefully, and they're still hot, even though they're, like, approaching 50. They look good for their age, you know, which, I mean, what the fuck is Natalya and Charlotte going to look like when they're 50, honestly, man? So, yeah, no, I thought Lita looks okay. She can't really move as good in the ring. She kind of moves a bit like Matt Hardy, broken. I mean, broken Matt Hardy. I know it's a gimmick, like, but that's kind of the way Matt Hardy and Lita move in the ring. Yeah, they don't move great. Trish still looks... I think Trish looks better than Lita in terms of, like, in-ring. I think Lita's probably aged well, from, like a facial standpoint, and, yeah, I think Lita probably looks better, but Trish kind of moves better, if that makes sense. So, but either way, look, Becky Lynch and Lita are the new WWE Women's Tag Team titles. What will we get now going into WrestleMania? Will Damage Control get a rematch? Let's hope not, because that was probably one of the worst title reigns in ever. Let's be real. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler apparently want a shot at the titles. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get those two versus Becky and Lita at WrestleMania. But anyway, guys, whatever. This show was not good. I was watching it last night. Honestly, I got like halfway through and I thought, you know, I'm just not doing this. It was really bad. It was that bad that I sat up to about 2:30 in the morning UK time. Then I thought, nah, man, I'm just not doing it. I'm going to bed. So yeah, it wasn't good. It's nice to see Lita capture gold, but honestly, the show wasn't great. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. It was pretty garbage, guys, and this road to WrestleMania fucking sucks. So something needs to happen. They need to do something, because at the moment this ain't working. It is the worst build-up to WrestleMania I can ever remember. And yeah, I'm really not looking forward to WrestleMania, man. It could be the most disappointing WrestleMania of all time. Even if the feud... even with the matches that have been announced, I just don't see it getting any better. Honestly, even if they start writing good shit, I'm just not interested in the matches that we have. Brock versus Omos, no. Bobby Lashley, Bray, no. Edge versus Balor, we've seen that. I don't care for the 2 women's matches. I mean, the only ones that I really don't mind is Cody and Roman Reigns, and if they do Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos, I mean, that might be alright. Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, and maybe Austin Theory, Cena, I'm kind of looking forward to, but everything else, no. Everything else just fucking sucks. So anyway, guys, that's my opinion. I'm giving Raw a 2 out of 10. Let us know what you thought down below. Catch you in the next one. And, of course, until then, until next time, peace.